welcome to Liverpool 12 Man Show. Sorry about that. Caught me plugging in my headphones. But we are live and direct today. Hopefully you can hear me decent today. Headphones on. Hopefully you can hear us good today. I'm joined by the Irishman today. We're going to do a review of, unfortunately, the game from yesterday. So we are going to make it all happen, I guess you could say, today. How are you doing today, Brian?
Yeah, I'm very well, very well. I hope you're recovered from your weekend. You have a not that you were misbehaving, but you were working hard.
Yes, I
Clearly, so
was. I definitely
yeah,
was.
no suggestion that there was anything untoward, but
Nefarious.
you were working hard.
Yeah, definitely working hard. Definitely working hard. And yeah, it was one of those. Wasn't an easy day yesterday. Definitely wasn't easy to wake up and watch that game, then have to be disappointed, and then have to go to work, and then work a late night, and then wake up and have to talk about it today. But it is what it is, because actually this is like a little bit of therapy, I guess you could say, in essence. It's a safe place, So
Till
pick
the
up
streets
your
arrives.
yeah until the streets arrive, then it gets real.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Then it gets definitely real. Um, yeah, I'm looking at the chat here.
Yeah, hello and good evening to everyone who's
Yes,
coming in. Thanks
yes.
for
Big up
coming
to
in.
Ian. Big up to Ian. Big up to Red Armchair Supporter. Trap Joe. Yeah, tough one yesterday. Definitely a tough one yesterday. And Trap Joe was right. He did. He did leave a comment talking about how he was not looking for an easy matchup yesterday. Not looking for. I mean, like I
Oh, yeah.
really. I mean, like I'll admit that Forest, the way that they came and set up. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Actually, we're gonna get into that. Got some takes. We'll listen to your takes as well, obviously, and include them in the chat and include them in the conversation. And also, if you can, be sure to get ready for the ratings portion of it, because try your best to be somewhat relative to the rating score from 0 to 100 or wherever you want to, the decimal points or whatever you want to put into there. And yeah, and I guess and I have a little bit of a breakdown too, like I said, a match breakdown and just the ratings portion of it. But I did have an early take, and what I meant by the early take portion of this show is that basically we'll start off the show with just some real personal opinion, personal takes. You might have a different perspective, or you might not agree with the perspective. That's cool. That's the reason why we're here, so we can converse, bring out what it is that you believe or what you have issue with and what I'm saying or what you have to say, and we can go from there. So I guess we just break it off and start this segment of the show. So this is again my perspective, all right, and we can all do what we want to do with it, but I believe, honestly, we all understand that the players played poorly yesterday, and they had their share for the blame for yesterday. I mean, I'm not trying to, take away any personal responsibility in them playing. With that said, though, I still put this on. I put this loss on Slot initially, because as much as you get the praise when you win the games, you should be able to, take the shade, I guess you'd say, so you can enjoy the sunshine when you win. You got to take the shade when you lose, and rightfully so. I personally thought that why I put it on Slot is because I believe the players that were doing some heavy traveling, players that picked up knocks on international play, were on the pitch. And what's kind of wild and crazy about it is that one of those players actually was one of our better players on the day. But I've spoken about this coach being someone that isn't scared to rotate, but so far we've only seen that in a game scenario. That not only called, but he did that not only called for us to do this in this game, but he didn't do the latter or the previous before in that he didn't rotate the proper way, in my opinion. I honestly didn't intend. I honestly didn't believe that that he intended to play his starters all the way through. We saw the early substitutions for relatively early substitutions for Diaz and for McAllister, and there could have been a shout again for McAllister to stay on, considering he was one of our better players. But he's also a player that has got a little bit of a knock on international play, and also was someone that was limited in the minutes that he had in that second game. Played quite a few minutes in that first game on international play. But we needed a goal. Could have probably utilized those players for a goal. We had to substitute in for the players that we had on the bench, who are viable solutions, albeit. But I'm just someone that likes to see players in rhythm as opposed to chasing an opportunity, chasing for a solution to a problem. So, taking them off in that when it's 0-0 and bringing in, taking off Mac and Lucho and bringing in, I believe it was Nunez and I have the names of it. It was Nunez and I remember who it was. Was it? It wasn't Cody. I don't think. It was Nunez and who was the other player? I think
that was a triple. So just be clear. Hang on. So you're saying he shouldn't have started them, but he also shouldn't have taken them off when they were also on.
No, I mean, like, you got to double down almost. Like, guys, and he shouldn't have started them. He shouldn't have. But now they're searching for a rhythm. I'd rather them find that rhythm than have players have to like play catch up. In essence, that's just my personal opinion when it comes to a lot of gameplay or utilizing players in the fold.
So sometimes that was your first early take was that basically the rotation, but there should have been more players.
Right.
It's on slot base.
I think it's on slot that we didn't rotate the players. I would have preferred to see Nunez. And look, I would prefer to see Nunez. I showed you my lineup. Chiesa, I understand, wasn't available for the game. So that's not something that you can say. Well, I mean, he wasn't.
Well, no, I mean, he was. There was nothing wrong with him, basically.
If there's nothing wrong with him, I don't know why.
Yeah, they decided they said because he hasn't played since June, basically.
Right.
So that's it. It's like, okay, so cool. He's not right. That's one. I said I might have given him. Like I said, same team again. But if one I was going to bring was Chiesa, I thought he was definitely
able to get 30 minutes.
Idea he wasn't. Yeah, I didn't realize he wasn't close to start. But that was what was it, David Lynch or something? That guy. He was like, yeah. They looked at he hasn't played. Oh, he's doing well in training, but he hasn't played since June. Blah 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 blah. So okay, whatever.
Well,
he's not fit yet, apparently. So
right, but the thing is, if he's not a starter, I thought that. I mean, you see him in training. I would have thought that he was like able to start.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. He was even talking about him. I didn't put him down because he was talking about it in his day before.
Right.
Before the game, he's saying, "Yeah, no, he could get some minutes.
He gets some minutes.
Right. So maybe he's one of a curveball or what do you call it? He throws an odd smoke and mirrors type job or. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he could be starting tomorrow. So an Oppo manager is like, oh, we might have to prepare for a Chiesa. Next thing you know, he's not even in the squad. Right. So maybe there's a bit of that because it's not like he got an injury between him saying that and then the match. It was just like they went, oh no, he's not ready yet. But you knew that yesterday. But he came out and gave it an interview saying he might play.
Play.
This guy.
Right. So that's why I'm. Okay. That's my point.
I have my first take. If you let my first take that it was, I think, and it was again, it's one of those. It's the thing that you think on the day, and then you have 24 hours to ruminate on it, and maybe this or maybe that. So I was thinking, and again, it's like I'm not having to go with you, but I say it's always like it's easy if such and such a player had started, if such and such a player had started, things would have been different. But we don't know. That's just pure hypothetical. So we can only judge on who played.
Well,
kind of thing.
We have to go conversation wise. Yeah, I understand.
But I know conversation wise, you can say, but I mean, we can't actually hang our hats on if A, B, and C had started, then it would have been different.
Can I make one quick? Can I make one quick? I'll let you finish. I swear. Yeah. I just want to make one quick thing. Because that was actually something I had written down myself. I get that perception that you can't necessarily say, oh well, you don't know if this would happen or that would happen. But guess what? I can say that the result wouldn't have been any worse than it was.
No, you can say it, but that's what I'm saying is nobody can come out and say if X, Y, and Z we would have won the game. That's what I'm saying.
But you can't say that. But the difference is
you can't.
No, you can't, Brian. Hear me out. You can't because of this reason. I saw that team play and they lost. But I didn't see the team that I would have preferred to see play because they didn't play at all. Now, would they have lost? I don't know. They could have lost just as well. But hold on. But the team I saw did lose. So therefore, I'm trying to get across that. Yes, I understand that the team I would have preferred to see today did not play. So I can't say whether they would have won or lost. But guess what? It wouldn't have been any different of a result other than possibly they win. They would, if they end up losing, we would be having the same conversation, but just in reverse, maybe saying he should have played the starters. I get that. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not saying it's. I know what you're trying. It's not perception. It's just like if we played a different team, we could have lost 3-0. We could have won 3-0. But like I'm saying, I can't discuss that result. I can only discuss the result we had. But like my take on it was my hot take. My original take is kind of like okay.
I won't. Go ahead.
Like I would have. Like I'm kind of thinking, okay, this guy is saying something, and like I was saying, it's all about learning with this guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to think, well, okay, maybe there's a reason he doesn't make these changes. Mm. And my original kind of hot take for the day was that the reason he hasn't changed some of these players is because he doesn't trust his alternatives, and he doesn't. Maybe the reason some of these guys aren't playing or changes aren't being made is because he's looking and going, I'd like to make a change there today. And then he's looking to his list and going, no, don't like the options. You are playing. That's what that was kind of the impression I got. I think maybe that was my first impression of it, is that I don't think he trusts some of his options as much as we thought he might or would like him to. Because there's a lot of guys out there that, like you said, they're playing a lot of minutes. Like even if it was an Endo, but Endo went away on international and played.
He played two matches.
Played two games.
Yeah, and played well in those games too, by the way.
So, but I mean, he's done more. He actually played more international minutes than or as much as anybody.
Yeah.
So even if
and the traveling too. Traveling's not light.
Oh, he's it's just Asia.
China.
It's
he
just
went to China.
Fucking,
I don't know if they were home games. I'm not sure if they were home games, but he played China and they played Bahrain. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Time zone wise, that's just as bad as going to South America, if not worse. Yeah. Going east, it's actually worse, I think. Yeah. And then coming back again. So, I just think maybe that was my initial take on the game, was maybe the reason he's not changing some of these things is because he doesn't think he has the quality in reserve yet. That was just my original kind of sort of take for the day kind of thing. But remains to be seen. But we can we'll get more and more into it, but I suppose that was
that's your take.
It's on everybody.
That's your initial take.
It's literally on the whole thing there, but it's to me as well, it's like, okay, would he have made changes if we had certain other players? But that's just getting into the whole other hypothetical part of it. So he is, like I say, still working with another man's tools at the moment. But really, really, just I know I've seen some shocking rating shows out there, but just all across the board, the air went out.
I've seen like ones and zeros.
And also, can I just quickly say, only Savage was the first person I saw really say it is like, and I was saying, can we please like acknowledge the fact that there's another team on that pitch called Nottingham Forest, and they're defending really well. It wasn't just we were playing cones, like there was no actual. Like, it wasn't like, okay, like some people were acting like we should be 3-0 up after 20 minutes. It was like, look,
I do have some perspectives of that in the
I'm not saying give them praise. What I was saying is people are acting like we were playing against 11 training cones. Like there was no recognition
No.
given to the fact that there was actually another team out there trying to stop us doing things in a low block with 11 men behind the ball and kicking us and pushing us and all that.
No, I have that. That's what I have in the match breakdown. I'm gonna address that too, because like
I mean
I think Forest came out and played the game that they wanted to play, and then they actually
we got fucking roped up. I mean,
yeah,
and that was a beautiful finish. By the way, that was a beautiful finish. We looked at their danger men before the game because we said they have a couple of guys up front that
Elanga. We said Elanga. We said Wood
can finish a chance.
Yep.
But they came there with a game plan and executed it.
So with the take that I had, I do have a little bit. So with the negative, obviously, I want to bring some of the positive. And one of the positives that I would like to bring back as a take is, look, I get that we're going to probably, this isn't the first or last, this isn't going to be the first, no, this isn't going to be the last time, I should say. It's not the first. It might be the first, but this isn't going to be the last time that we see a low block set up against us, or at least players, teams that are going to basically just defend, or hunker down and try to target
us. Especially at Anfield. But 95% of teams, I'd imagine.
A good number. You agree? I agree. Well, yeah. I don't.
Arsenal, Spurs, and City.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be about it.
I don't.
Because Spurs are just.
Yeah, you said Spurs. My fault. You did say Spurs. Yes, I agree. Spurs will attack anything. Chelsea, I think, will probably come out and attack too. By the way, I think Chelsea will come out.
Yeah, I don't know much about that Maresca guy yet. So yeah, actually, that's true. I don't know what they do.
And maybe there could be a shot for Brighton because Brighton looks like they.
Brighton do their thing. They do their thing. Yeah. Or we might even find out with Bournemouth up next. We'll see. They might be a bit.
I know.
We need that. We need that. We don't. Yeah. This fucking 2 banks of 10 bullshit. We've seen it so many times before. And if you have an off day, which like we did, I think.
Yeah. I
just think it can't be. Like it's okay. I just think everybody was so bad that that's just the kind of thing that just happens once. Like we were like if we were tonked there, if we were like played like we had total control of that game. Mm-hmm. We had all of the ball.
Yeah, 70%, I believe, the possession or something like that.
Stupid, like absolutely stupid. Yeah, and like everybody's touch was off it. Everyone's pass was off. Everyone's finish is off.
69%.
Yeah, that's not 69.
69. Might I say was as soon as I thought it was 69, I was like, oh, this is not a good number for us. So we had 69% of possession of the ball. 1969 was the last year that we ever lost to this team at Anfield. So go figure.
Oh, for all the numerologists out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your charts out. What else happened 69 years ago? What else happened 69 years ago? We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
But like I said, it's just to me, it is like saying it's a bad day at the office is the most like trite thing ever. But it's just when everyone is so off, like the touch is off, the pass is off, like everyone from Trent right through to Jota and Sabo and Salah. That doesn't happen like if that was happening every game, you'd like we have a serious problem here. But it stands out so much because it's such a once-off. Mm-hmm. I mean, that one guy can have an off game, but it's just so rare. It's once a season where everyone just can't pass the ball, can't finish, just has one of those games. Now, if that happens 3 more times in the next 5 games, then we have a problem. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's just so kind of like everyone was just so bad. But maybe that's a tactical thing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. But we were so weak or so... And he was saying it, look, I thought we had 2. On another day, that Diaz one only has to be an inch further to the
I know. But that was that was a really tight angle.
Chance of that coming back out off of that has to be.
I thought that we would have scored off the rebound. I thought we were going to score off the rebound off of that one because that angle that first off, to even give the extra effort to keep that in play was just Lucho-esque. But like,
oh, he told you, he looked at your man and he saw your man had given it up and he was like, you idiot. And he just shot past him. That was just, that's pure Diaz.
Yeah. Then it was a really tight angle though. I mean, the goalkeeper, broke down.
He did everything.
Yeah.
He did on Andy, but like he's looking at that, even off the post that goes in. most times.
Most times,
It'll
just like skirt it
goes in.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jota one, should he have headed it?
The Jota one, you know what? The Jota one, I thought, I don't have that in the match breakdown, but the Jota one, I would have said, or Jota, however you want to pronounce it. I would have thought that. I don't know if he really thought he was going to get to it, so he just kind of stuck a leg out, and he made contact with the ball. But like even the commentator was kind of was remarking on that one, and she was saying how he's just got to put that extra effort to try to like chest it in, or put a head on it, or or do something a little bit more controlling with it rather than just stick a leg and hope that it directs in.
Because he's a brilliant header at the ball. It's not like he's one of those strikers that never heads it. And you're like, you can understand it because he's a great header at the ball.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Just the timing of it. I think the way he jumped, it's just, oh shit, I've jumped too early.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what happened. He kind of got caught in two minds because he jumped a half a millisecond too early. So he was neither on the way up to head it or on the way down to finish it. So he just went for the cushion, let it hit off him and try and put it in. So there was no conviction behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see him grabbing his head as soon as you can see him going, oh, that
was my opportunity. Yeah. Because there wasn't that much service getting put into. There hasn't been in our play we haven't really seen that much of service or directed service to our forwards or to our striker, I should say.
We ain't crossing the ball from the left anymore. We don't cross the ball.
We don't.
I mean, we're not doing.
We don't.
It's just.
Well, Lucho wasn't really that much of a crosser as this.
No, but from
really
Robbo.
From Robbo. Yeah, that's what.
But you can see it's been. You see them in coach. Don't cross it. I mean, it's even if you're being told to kind of do whatever is in the
But
best
that's
kinda.
the difference. Again, that was the difference in this. Oh no, we're going a little bit too much in this second. I'm gonna get into match breakdown because we can get into a little bit more of what we're talking about. I just wanted to get the last.
There's a few people in the chat. There's a few people in the chat that have put in.
I have them start. I do have
Ian Mack. People have come in. Honcho. New people since we started blabbering. Ian. Honcho. Mine are disappearing.
I got them start. Trap Joe. I got Trap Joe start. I got High Lord start. I got
just
Ian
to say hello,
start,
Bernie.
Honcho.
But if we didn't say hello.
I didn't see Bernie come in. If Bernie's here, it's cool.
I just assumed.
Red for Life, Bonkers. Jimmy's in the house. Big up to you guys. I have your comments. I have them starred. I'm going to bring them in into the fold here. Don't worry. Keep them coming because your inclusion in the conversation is very, very important to all of us. So. But there was the part that I was going to say. So so I did have a little bit of a negative take in that, saying that I do believe that it was onslaught, like as in him not just this was the game to rotate. I think this was the game. We spoke on this before. This was the game to rotate, and I just personally thought that this game should have been taken advantage of because I'd rather see you rotate in this game at home against Forest, than you rotate for a Champions League opening game on the road, And then if you don't rotate in that and we don't get a result in Italy, which is not a guarantee because AC Milan is at home. They're a good team, then all of a sudden you're looking at a team with two.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. Then, I know you've been you said it from. I know what you're saying.
But my positive though is that, or at least a positive perspective on it, is that we certainly need to focus on if we're going to play. Hi Bernie. Bernie is in the house. Big up. One of our red jewels, one of our brightest red jewels, by the way. Bernie, big up. If we are going to face these low blocks, just as you said, which we should be aware of, okay. We need to do better on our set pieces. We absolutely. Today I watched a Arsenal team score one goal off of what could have been. I thought it could have been a foul. Personally, Gabriel, basically pushed the player in the back to get positioning, and but that goes uncalled sometimes. So I'm not saying that it's unlikely or out of the question of him to score from there. But he did push the guy in the back. But he scored off on set piece.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, absolutely, happens all the time. There's a lot of like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
we do it.
Yeah,
I mean, you just look the other way. Yeah, you look the other way.
We get called on that.
What a header. Great header. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, he's strength. Great strength.
Exactly.
It was funny though. I was watching one show that were slagging off Gabriel for like 2 minutes, about a minute just before he scored that goal. That was quite funny.
That is funny. That happens all the time though.
But I think.
I'm just gonna let me lay.
Just quickly, like you're saying, other than Trent, I don't think we have a set piece specialist.
Well, today you would have recognized too. Don was taking some of the corners. Like Robbo took the corners. Like there was, they had Trent on the outside portion, as a on the outside portion of the box to for rebounds or for trying to get it back in. But why I'm bringing this up is we have two dynamic players that are immense when it comes to aerial duels and winning the ball in the air. We need to have more precision with our corners, with our set pieces. Set pieces can be different because obviously, or direct kicks and the likes, because then you could honestly just go for the goal outright. You don't have to have to worry about trying to find another player to connect with or the likes. You could just, we've seen Trent do some incredible direct kicks. But
trying Olympicos, that's what you call them, Olympicos. He tried another one yesterday. I mean,
he did. He did.
That's
off the
I mean,
yeah.
How many times is that going to happen? That's not going to happen that often. I mean,
it's not. You have to catch the goalie off his game for that to happen, basically.
Yeah, and as we spoke on before, I mean, it's.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Is it Bernie's birthday, by the way?
Wow. It's a happy birthday. Oh, Bernie. Oh, happy birthday, Bernie.
Happy birthday, Bernie.
Happy birthday. Oh, sorry, today is Sunday. Yeah, Bernie, it's not that I didn't know Sunday was your birthday. It's because I'm an idiot and I'd forgotten today was Sunday, actually. No, I knew because she was expecting you to sing it for her.
Oh,
so, yeah. No, she was sick because I remember she said it the other day. You'll be singing my birthday on Sunday. I knew it was her birthday on Sunday. It's just that's on me. That's on me. So yeah, a very happy, no doubt, 32nd birthday, Bernie. No doubt.
No, I read that it was her 21st birthday.
21. Okay. Key to the door.
Exactly. But yeah.
Yes. So
I was just many happy returns, definitely, and big up to Bernie again. Like I said, one of our brightest Reds jewels for sure.
Joining us on her birthday as well. So extra thanks for that.
Yes, absolutely. What I was getting at though was I'd like to see us be more clinical on our set pieces, both direct kicks, corner kicks in particular. Considering that we are we do get a high volume of corners on a low block team, you're going to have deflections out. Like they're going to try clearing it out of bounds. They're going to give up corners here and there. You're going to have probably more corners from low block teams, especially if you're going to have that. Then you have to focus as that being a viable source of you scoring.
I think you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think corners these days seem to be. I've seen this mentioned a load of times now in commentary over the last maybe 7 or 8 games, pointing out how corner takers are targeting weak keepers on their goal line in terms of actually trying to test keeper from the corner, as opposed to trying to set up a chance, as opposed to like swing one in. Like it's like we're talking about like the Olympicos. Like I've seen us try at least 6 of them now since the season started, and that's not a coincidence. Like when you've got someone like Trent going, okay, and we saw what happened with the dude, where he basically nearly gave us a goal. He dropped it between his legs, and it's only because it bounced up and hit his hand it didn't go over the line. I think that's kind of an example of what you're talking about. Look, this guy,
off of Lucho's header.
Yeah, this guy is uncomfortable with the ball, like swing it in on him.
Yeah.
Like not just him. I mean, I've seen it.
He did make a very good save against Macca, though.
Oh yeah, but in terms of the corners,
probably should have been a goal.
But what I'm talking about is the corners. I mean, I've seen commentators saying this, like that we seem to be like there's more teams, not just us, actually trying that because guess what? All these ball playing goalkeepers might not actually be that good in these. And if you've got someone like Trent who can actually do that and hit the target off it, even if it doesn't go in,
players that are more, these goalkeepers that are more comfortable with the ball at their feet as opposed to using their hands.
Yeah, even if it doesn't go in and that guy just beats it down, he's beating it down into the 6-yard box at best.
Right.
And then you've got a chance off that. Hopefully, it's a good way of. But if you look at it, like again, 2 years ago, the amount of corners that led directly to a goal, as in a corner being directly headed into the goal, was 1%. So, and that's gone up recently, but it will be maybe at most 2%. So 2% of corners are taken by a taker, gets swung into the box, and the next touch is a header that goes in, or a strike, or some form of contact that leads directly to a goal. It's 1 to 2%. So it's rare anyway. But I'm with you in terms of when you see someone like Van Dijk jumping and meeting a header from a corner, with the quality that he does and the quality they have from a Trent or a Szoboszlai, I think we do fall short. Definitely. I don't know what our averages are compared to City, Arsenal, anything like that. But I'm with you. I think we should be more threatening at least. Someone was talking about Sami Hyypiä earlier on. We don't seem to have that. And Virgil, for me, I think should score 3 or 4 more a season.
I don't know what's happened to Konate, to be honest with you. Ibu has shown,
he's never.
Oh, I don't know about that. There was the times when he scored that one against City. There was another time that he scored. I forget what team it was. I want to say it was like Bournemouth or it was a team like that. But he scored some really, really decisive headers. Why I know that is because there was one time I
remember the City one. Yeah. Where he just waltzed into the box and just headed it past everybody and said, "Don't even try and stop me. I'm just nodding this in, and nobody can do anything about it."
Well, that's
like, just do that 6 times a year, man.
We'll be golden. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Where's that guy gone?
I distinctly remember I was on Coppish. I sent them a super chat. That's how badly I wanted to make the comment known, and I called out that Ibu header incoming. And he actually ended up scoring off a header. And I was just
bullied everybody.
He just bullies everybody. And that was like that little run where he actually had a couple of really good headed opportunities. And we just haven't really seen that. Considering the amount of corners that we get, albeit a lot of teams are starting to mix in short corners a lot more here and there. But and I know that
they don't do that too much.
We haven't been doing that as much. We did it in the Klopp era a little bit too much, I think.
What's your opinions on short corners?
I'm not really a fan of the short corner. I remember when I just spoke about it with Klopp. There was a period where it seemed like everything was a short corner for us. We just did not even try to do corners anymore. It seemed like, and I was just like, are we ever going to just put one up and just let our big guys go up there and get a goal? I'm not really a fan of short corners unless you have someone that is very, very, that's going to be on it, that has the ability to like create or maybe dribble into the box and collect a foul maybe or something like that. But other than that, I'm not really a big fan.
If you can pass it short to Suarez, do that all day. But if you don't have a Suarez or something like, exactly. They usually kind of fall flat. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of inventive routines.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you can't have a different routine for every corner, but like some clubs, they kind of just do the same thing every time. I like it when you mix it up or try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like Trent, the ultimate example.
Yeah. Before we get into this match breakdown, because we're going to get into these ratings pretty soon, let me bring up the comments that I said I starred. And
Ian was at the game. Oh, nice one, Ian. Nice one.
Yes, okay. Yes, he was.
Ian was at the game. Cool.
Yeah. Sorry you had to sit through that, Ian.
We always have at least. I mean, this is
we
one
always
of the great
have
things about that. We always have at least one person who was actually at the game.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like we have 10,000 people in here, but I don't know. We haven't seen Norm in a while. I hope he's doing well. And
I hope
again,
Norm's
Lee
doing
Wizkid.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Lee Wizkid, who, as we all know, he had a test going on there Saturday.
Yes.
We wish him well on that. So Lee
Absolutely.
Wizkid, if you're out there, if you're
Absolutely.
listening, nothing but love, man.
Yeah, know that we're with you, brother. Definitely. Definitely. Let me get into some of these chats that we had. Okay, so Ian says he thought that there were too many below par individual performances. We didn't do enough for 60 minutes. Then the subs and changes made it worse. So many things wrong all around. Hollywood Rock says Liverpool will do better in the big games that the season. He feels he wouldn't be surprised if we struggle versus low block teams at Anfield, which is nothing new. The crowd is dead now. Klopp's left. There's no X factor. Ian also said, my fear is that the type of performance we witnessed a few times last season from the same group of players, we lacked any energy, and the decision making was way off.
That's a fair point. I don't think it's the first time that we saw a performance like that. I think that's a fair point, especially from someone who's actually seen it.
Yeah.
Up close. I think that's, well said on that one. It's not the first time we've seen some of these players go and look like they were all out in a nightclub until 3 a.m.
Yeah, certainly. The bench lacked any game changers, as Ian goes on to say. The bench lacked any game changers as well. Beyond Hackpo, who on the bench did you really think could make a difference? I would say that, if anything, I'd look at Nunez as more of a game changer than Hackpo, to be honest with you, off the bench.
Yeah, if someone's going to come on and radically alter something, then that's Nunez. I mean, that's literally his whole, what do they call it? His vibe. That's his, that's his whole thing, is coming on and changing things and shaking things up.
Chaos, and all that,
coming on and doing that. I mean, Gakpo, sorry, just like you said, Gakpo would be a very like for like type, so good and all of that, but he's not going to come on and do mad different stuff. But
you're not going to.
On our bench, Nunez is the only one they'd be looking at to come on. And,
again, a player I would rather see establish a rhythm in Cody, as opposed
he needs to play.
Than someone coming off the bench trying to
Gakpo is not a good sub.
Be a fire starter.
100%, man. Gakpo is not a good sub. To me, he's someone who, if you play him 5 games out of 5, he scores goals.
He's going to score goals.
What do you do? Do you drop Diaz?
Yeah.
Do you drop Jota? What do you do?
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
Trap Joe goes to say, what was strange is that our frustrating first half was better than our second. I could agree with that. That was pretty frustrating.
Total control in the first half, total control.
Hylor goes on to say, 3 matches of Premier League games, Premier League and an international, and Slot learns what fatigue means for a player's ability. Sabasalai, for example, after a 90-minute international, looked like a wreck against Forest. Let's see. I have like 4 more to start here. One positive is that this from Ian. One positive is that we said that it was so bad that everyone can learn from its players, managers, and coaches. So hopefully we can use it and learn from it for our future games. Bournemouth coming up on Saturdays, another test. It is certainly. Honcho, big up Honcho. If it just happens once, why did we see it all last season? Same players? No. That's a good point. I understand that point.
No, I was kind of making the point that I hope this is one of a... Yeah, that's what I said. I hate using this was a one-off game, because it's like, that's really lazy analysis, or not analysis, but lazy talk. Like, it's a one-off game, move on. But what I was saying is, like, hopefully that it's very rarely that you just see everyone be that bad.
Right. Like you're hoping that it was just a banana peel game, and then
whatever it happened, it can't be like that. We can't be that. Like, again, I said, we've seen all these players have off games,
right?
But it was just like, I know what Honcho is saying, and I'm saying it is a kind of a lazy, kind of broad stroke way of talking about it. But this is a team of players that we know have done things where
you're talking about your
3 out of 10. Yeah.
Your
not
analysis, but your
rating on the game.
Cliche. Your cliche style of saying, oh, this is a one-off, or this is just a bad day at the office.
Bad day at the office. Like I was saying, it's a phrase I didn't want to use, but it just was one of those. Look, and then I said afterwards, if we're like that 3 times out of the next 5 games, then it's not a bad day at the office. But just at the moment, I mean, I can't go 2-footed on a 1 game thing. 3 wins, brilliant wins, 1 bad loss. I mean, we're still in the credit. We're still in the credit here.
No, we are. Let me get through these 3. I have 3 last ones. Then we'll again keep your comments coming. I'll star them, and we will always include your comments. We have no problems with you being a part of the conversation because you are, again, the mighty Red Army out there. We rely on you. So, Trap Joe goes many clumsy passes, and it was strange for an Anfield early game in the season against a low-tier team. Hollywood Rock says Forest are a bogey team for us. We rarely play well against them. Going back to the Cup win in 2022. I can understand that. We as of late we have not played that well against them, but there have been. I put up the games that we had against them recently. There was a 3-2 win that we had. That was a tough one. Obviously, the 1-0 win against them was a game that we could have ended up drawing. And then, but before that, we won. I think 3-0 was the game before the 3-2. So there were a couple of times where we're scoring 3 goals against them at least. Last comment here. Tyler says the elephant in the room. If Slot only sees the same 11 as worthy as starters, why the heck didn't we invest in more players in the summer? No rotation after a heavy international break. That is somewhat what I agree. I can understand with what you're saying, High Lord. I believe that, look, again, if you as a coach are comfortable in saying, okay, we didn't get Zubamendi, we're going to bring in Chiesa, but we're going to have to wait for him to get to match fitness 4 or 5 weeks into the season. If that's the case, then yeah, we should have gone out and gotten players that are comparable and capable of being selected. If you're on the bench, it should mean that you can play. And I can even relate this in because we're going to go into the ratings now, but I can even do shout out to my brethren, my brother, my Reds brother, Drifty. He did a reaction show. And on the reaction show for Kopish, he was talking about how he was surprised to see Curtis Jones. Why were we calling on Curtis Jones to come in and be our sub for whatever it's worth? And I'm sitting there going who else are you going to bring in? On the bench, the only players that didn't get played yesterday were Gomez, Endo, and Kwanzaa. So every player that has any bit of an offensive tool I'm not saying that Gomez can't, cross or do things.
No, no, he's a defender. You don't need to caveat that at all.
Exactly. Okay.
Endo's a DM. You don't need to caveat that at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Kwanzaa's a center back. Yeah, exactly.
Even the Simicast one, I mean, what was that all about? I mean,
I think Robbo maybe
bringing on someone for the sake of bringing someone on. I think even that was never going to.
I don't think so.
But no, I mean, in terms of it was bringing on a left back for a left back. It wasn't a.
Yes, I get what you're saying. But I thought maybe it was because just as you spoke on earlier, Forrest brought the heat on the wings. Elanga, furthermore, Hudson-Odoi. Especially when Hudson-Odoi got subbed in for them, they were making it a point towards the end that they were going to try to get something from the wings. Again, in the match breakdown portion of the show, we're going to go match breakdown. I'm sorry, I had that next. Let me go into this match breakdown before.
Yeah, but he ends up with a back 3 with a.
I know that was weird. I know that was really
and
weird.
Bradley in a back 3. I mean.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
That's chasing a game. I know he's chasing a
Yeah.
game. He takes off Canai chasing a game. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But maybe think about that before we bring Simicast on.
Well, this is what I noticed. So the match breakdown portion of this, and then we'll go into ratings. Sorry, I said ratings. I forgot that. I do have a decent segment here for match breakdown because there's a couple of different segments of the game I really want to speak on. Basically, we were chasing. What was that?
Oh no, sorry, just the people in chat laughing at Yates.
That was trust me, he is a part of this. He is a part of this breakdown. Trust me. Yeah. Basically, we were chasing rather than dictate. I believe the game yesterday. I get we had 70% of possession, but still, what I mean by dictate the game is that I believe that Forrest's influence on the game, despite only having 30% of possession, was a louder dictation of how the game was going to go. And why I say that is Forrest never allowed us to do what we wanted to do because of their physical play. I get that we went to a 3-man back line, as Brian stated, and that was kind of weird to see. That's something that we haven't seen. Yeah,
that was
way at the end.
That was a way at the end. That was like throwing everything at it type shit.
Exactly.
Bradley and Simicast in the back.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, this is a very inventive direction we're going to go with this chase.
No.
But what I mean by the way that Forrest dictated the game more so than us is that 4 minutes into the game, right? Macca it wasn't 4 minutes. I think it was 2 minutes into the game. Macca got kicked in his chest. Okay, he got kicked in his chest. But I believe it might have been by Yates. Okay, but it was by, I forget what player it was. It was by, I believe it was Yates. And then in the 4th minute, Robbo was on the ground from a challenge. Okay, it was like the ref called a foul, albeit, but getting kicked in the chest could be a yellow card. You could say, it could be. I understand that not many referees give yellow cards as a first call or a first foul, but it was just one of those cases where they came out and they're saying, we're going to foul you, we're going to play physical, and we're going to dictate this game the way that we can never really allow for you to get into a rhythm, to utilize your pace, to kind of get into the fashion of football that you like to do. Okay?
Yeah.
And like I said, Robert was on the floor 2 minutes after Macca had just gotten kicked. They sent a very loud message, and referee allowing for the play to go on sometimes, or at least if he did call a foul, not really following up with it, because their yellow cards were primarily for time wasting. Like Ilanga got a foul at the very end, but
Yates and Moreno were both booked for tackles,
right?
And they were the two I wanted on yellows. Yates on a yellow
was on a yellow because of time wasting, and you could argue that there were some tackles by Yates that could have been.
Oh yeah, no, look, sure, we're all laughing about it. Oh, no, we're all laughing about it. Like, I mean, yeah, look, it was. If it's
and this isn't against the referee. I'm not trying to. This isn't a referee take or saying bad referee or the referee screwed us or any of that crap. It's not that. What I'm trying to get across is that they saw what the referee was going to allow. They
set the tone,
and they set the tone.
You have to go toe to toe.
Yeah.
If you can't match somebody up in the physical bit and all that, they did their job.
And this is also why
9 times out of 10 they don't get away with it though. That's the thing. 9 times out of 10 they can set up like that, go tough, go hard. Like that's all they got to do. I'm not putting any shade on them.
Yeah.
They've come to Anfield. What do people expect them to do? Try and play like Real Madrid? They've come here and said the best way for us to get a result here is to do this. They did it and they got a result. So props to them, well done. But you're going to get that. You're going to have to go toe to toe. But if you do that 9 times out of 10, those chances that we had, that idea of everybody being on an off day, that's not happening. And they're still losing 4-1. It's
Right.
just the two things combined together. They put in a top quality version of the kind of football that gives them the best chance to win at Anfield. And that guy Yates set the tone, go toe to toe. Yeah, be tough, be rough, all of that. You're not going to walk through us, and you walk the line a bit. And we weren't able to break that down because, like I said, everybody, or like we've all been saying, nobody seemed to be able to pass the ball in the final third or stick it in the back of net yesterday.
20th minute.
9 times out of 10, that doesn't work for them.
20th minute. Excuse me. 20th minute. Yates showed Maka the floor for the 4th time. He was on the.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. Oh, I was watching. Man, I saw the match.
Minute
Don't worry, I watched it.
The game.
Yeah, I was laughing out loud.
Game.
I know. I was watching it and I was laughing out loud at it. I know what went
8
on.
yellows again.
Yeah.
Again, 8 yellows were given out in this game. There were some tactical fouls by Robbo. I don't know if Trent was an argument, and Doms and Gravenberch.
Trent was going toe to toe with fucking what's his name at the end.
Yeah,
like the commentator on the Irish channel said it was about 70 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
He commented on the fact that Trent and Oliver were basically bitching at each other all game. It didn't stop. Yeah. He said Trent has a serious problem with Oliver here.
Yeah.
And then on 90 minutes, the camera cuts. They do that thing where they're all standing in a line as referees, pretend to be statues, and all the players have to leave. And Trent is just up in his face, screaming and roaring at him, pointing at him. Like from day one,
he's the vice captain. Recognize. Yeah, he's the vice captain. He does have the right to
oh yeah, no, he has. Well, the captain, but I mean, it was very demonstrative.
Yeah.
But I was saying the Irish commentator is the guy he picked up on. He was like, he hasn't stopped, like, because he picked up and he's been watching. He said every time off the ball, Trent is just shouting at him, going, "What was this? What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
So it was. But again, look, you know me. If I'm lucky, I'll only find out who the ref is the hour before the game. I try my best not to know who they are and all of that, so it doesn't affect me or impinge on my thinking.
Right.
But
right.
The Yates stuff was just like, okay, this guy has literally been teleported in from 1989.
Yeah,
this guy does not give a shit.
I felt like I thought we were doing a throwback Thursday and watching game for a second because like some of the fouls
but the hand to the face. The hand to the face was a classic.
Yeah.
Now, the hand to Mac's face and the look of innocence afterwards and the whole, what? Me?
Yeah.
Did I hurt you? Oh, I'm sorry. And then he goes over to try and shake his hand when Max.
Yeah, I know. And I was like,
Max said, oh, it's just classic. I'm sorry, but that is just, it was so good. I almost stood up and applauded it. It's just like, what a prick.
That's what I mean, man. Hey, look, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
These are the kind of guys that will he's captain of Forest. He's the kind of guy, if they're going to stay up, it's because of guys like him. As much as we may not like it, but it would be because of guys like him. And
he's
you gotta
very
live
much
with it. He'd run through a brick wall for him.
He's like McGinn, you know.
Oh, he'll run through a brick wall for you. He will head footballs made out of fire. He will do all that. He is the kind of player that he will not give up. He will die for your club. And that's what you need.
Like Dunk for Brighton or something like that.
That's what you want, man. And that's what you don't need him at our club because Jesus, but at their club,
the talent level is not even close to Premier League level.
You've got to learn to live with it, though.
But the heart,
like Johnny Giles. He always says he played for one of the toughest teams in the history of football at Leeds United. Johnny Giles. They used to kick people all over the place. The one thing he always says is you have to earn the right to play. Now, some people don't know what that means, but you have to earn the right to play. You can't just go out on a pitch and expect to be allowed to show off and use your touch, and nobody touches you or tackles you. You have to earn the right to play. You have to win your physical battle first, and then you can go and do your stuff, is the way he would always say. But yet you can't expect people just sit off and let you play nice football. People will get up your back, to as far as the letter of the law will allow them. And a bit beyond if they can get away with it. That's football. That's always been football. If you don't win your physical battles all across the pitch, it doesn't matter how good your players are. And I think, we allowed them. I think you were correct in that when you were saying it, that we allowed them to dictate that yesterday. We had all of the ball, in front of them passing around, but they dictated that level of the game, which is a really good way of putting it, because we had it all, but what did we do with it? It looked like they were happy to just let us pass it around and not hurt them.
Yeah.
Not really look that different. And then when they got their chances, I mean, that was like a Klopp. If Liverpool had scored the goal they scored under Klopp, we'd be like, look at that.
Oh, well, let's get into that. Can I so this is the last portion of the match breakdown that I was going to do, because this is the biggest portion of the game. Obviously, it's the goal scoring portion of the game for Forest. What I have here is, look, 67th minute, Bradley, who had some nice play before. When he came into the game, he broke up one play that was good. Elanga, no, excuse me, I think it was Hudson-Odoi. I think it was Elanga at the time, but and then Hudson-Odoi got subbed in. But either one of those players have again tested him. The winger tested him. He was there. He was there for the measure and was able to
in a back three for some reason. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, you got to factor that in for some,
Yeah.
He wasn't playing it right back. He was playing in that. We were throwing everything forward. We got hit, man. Suck punch.
Well, no, he wasn't. It wasn't a back three just yet. I don't think, because you know why? Because the goal came at the 72nd minute when
was
Curtis
Konate still on the pitch?
Konate got subbed in at the 75th minute. So we were still in a back
four.
Sorry. And that's why I was
my bad.
That's why I was going to get into this particular play. I broke it down. I watched the replay like
of course, sure. He used Konate as a screen. He used
Exactly.
Konate as a screen to bend it around, and that was quality.
Yep.
Yeah. My bad. Sorry, I'm just going to give up YouTube now.
I
haven't made that.
No.
I should just give it. No, everything. Sorry. From now on, ignore everything I ever say.
That's why we walk. That's why you'll never walk alone, brother. That's why we got your back. No, he has some nice plays early, but let's be honest, Bradley got beat badly in a particular play against Elanga. It was a play that Elanga. This is before. I want to say this is before he got subbed in, or maybe they switched sides. But all the same, Elanga did have the ball on the left side at one point, and it was on a break, and he actually got beat. Bradley just got beat. He dipped in. He dipped in too early, and Elanga just went past him. And then he was beat, and he had to be on his horse to try to recover. And by the time he recovered, Elanga had already made the pass to Chris Wood, and Wood, fortunately, the pass was behind him, and the play broke down. That was fortunate, but a good pass, that's a goal opportunity.
Oh, that was a horrible pass.
Yeah,
that was a horrible pass. Like I remember watching that, and I was like, I would rip if somebody for us did that, Robbo, Diaz, Kappa, I'd be like, you asshole, absolute asshole. Why did you do that?
Yeah,
it's just that's the easiest. It's not the easiest ball in the world to play, but it's the easiest ball in the world to know where you should play it, and it's not there. It's in front of Chris Wood. It might not come off, but you don't play it behind Chris Wood. Right. What the fuck are you doing? Like Chris Wood just ends up in the net, look like a dickhead.
Yeah, we had talked about that too. Chris Wood is a decent player. We had spoken on how like he's he's one of the top 10 forwards in the league currently. Says a lot about the league, but I mean, like, yeah.
And someone said it 12 in 16 under Nuno or something like that, or something like 11 that. Like
I don't remember the exact stat that you're talking about, but
it's something like that. Yeah, since Nuno joined, which is towards the back end of last year, and he's I think it's like 12 and 16.
Something has clicked for Wood. Yeah, it's the same number. Chris Wood. Didn't he play? Because he was on Newcastle. Was he on Newcastle for a little bit too? I think, or something. Or what team was
Newcastle, Burnley.
Just and hadn't clicked the way he's clicking with Forest. But let me just break down again what happened too. So, shout out to Pops. Bayesian Reds.
Don't do that, Rev. Don't say Chris Wood has better stats than Diaz. Don't.
Okay. All right. So
come on now.
I know he's I know what he's doing.
I left winger in a 6'5" number 9.
Yeah. Come on. So what I was going to get into is shout out to Pops. Like I said earlier, I watched their show and they were talking.
And Nolante, big up to Nolante and Dara.
I missed Nolante.
And Colin.
Colin too. Big up to both of you. Nolante, one of our generals. Big up to Nolante. Yeah. So what I wanted to break down, or at least illustrate for the breakdown, was that Pops was I don't know if he's defending Bradley like defense league style defending, but Pops is a little romantic like myself, so he was trying to make it a point of saying that Bradley wasn't the call. Bradley wasn't the sole cause and the likes, and I'll agree. Bradley was not the sole cause. Ali should have made a better save. He was blocked. He did get screened out by Kelleher. Well done by Hudson-Odoi for doing that. But he should have been positioned better.
He didn't even dive, man. He didn't.
Yeah. I don't think he can see it. I don't think
exactly. He's Canadi. The man used like the guy that was commentating for us. There was a striker and then there was a goal. They both said like that was not genius play, but he said the way he used Canadi. By the time Ali saw the ball, game over.
But
it was game over. I know what you're going to say, but I'm just saying like
what do I say? What am I going to say?
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying like even Ali didn't even get to that. I just think that finish was so good.
It was such a good. It was a great finish. No,
when you watch it, like Ali's just like, what the hell?
For him
to see him trying to go.
For him to utilize take the shot, to utilize the screen, to be able to curve the ball the way he curved it, to get it into the portion of the net that he got into. Kudos to Hudson-Odoi. Great shot, great shake. But this is where I'm
stopping that.
But this is where you are stopping.
You're not stopping.
This is where you are stopping, and this is why I'm critical of Connor. Great, I'm high on Connor, but this was where you got to call it out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
no, you're saying I'm not saying Ali should have saved it. Mm-hmm. If you're saying the Connor bit, I'm just saying like by the time it was past that, by the time Ali saw it was in the goal.
Well, this is why I'm saying.
If you're going back to the Connor thing, sorry.
Yes,
I didn't.
This is where I'm going to go back because that's where I want to take it. Was this Connor when he had Hudson-Odoi one-on-one? If you take a look at it, and you can all if you get a chance, look at it on replay. I know it's not a fun thing to do is look at goals. I watch the games over. Sometimes I watch them 2-3 times so I can make sure, especially segments like this, I'll watch over and over and over to make sure I try to scan as much of the pitch as possible to see what everyone was doing, or at least from what I can see. And initially, it was a 3-on-5 initially. We had 5 Reds back to defend. So although Hudson-Odoi was one-on-one, he only had 2 options left. And out of those 2 options, there was 4 Reds able to do what they need to do. Eventually, when he went and took the goal, when he took on Connor and he started to go inside and try to take the inside path. By that time, we had gotten a 6-man back into defend. So at that point, it was 3-on-6. Why I have an issue with Connor is push him to the sideline or push him to the byline or something like that. Because at least if you're doing that, you're not giving him his strong foot. 2, if he's going to do a cross, fine. I would prefer you maybe get a deflection or a block on it, obviously. But if he's going to get a cross, obviously, that's not a shot because he's not going to get a shot off from pushing it to the sideline. And if he's going to get a cross, numerically, we are superior. We have both Kanate and VVD back. We have coverage back, 4 players back to cover the 2 options that he has to pass to. Allow for that to be the play rather than push a player to his strong foot and allow for him to use the screen and everything go down the way it did. That was a bad play by Connor. And that's why I helped
young
Connor.
Kid, man.
Yeah.
Young kid,
and he's a young kid Hopefully
up
he
against a top
understands.
winger.
Yeah, I hopefully he takes this and he learns from it immensely, because this cost us points. It did.
To
It
me,
cost us
though, but
points.
to me, this isn't a thing on him. This is just a general point. To me, a good winger should always be a good fullback, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, good attack and play should, like, defense is just there to stop you scoring, but like a good winger running at a defender should always have the advantage and should always beat the mute, like, because otherwise it'd be 0-0 in every game. I don't blame. I mean, in an individual one, yeah, you can say he should have done this and done that, but sometimes if you get skinned, you get skinned. Like the guy
But he
has the
already
ball, he's
got
running at it.
skinned. He'd
No,
already
I'm not
gotten
saying
skinned.
individual. I'm not
Yeah,
saying in
yeah,
the
yeah,
individual. I'm just saying in that one thing. Like it just more often than not. That's why football is set up the way it is. To get an attacking player with the ball at his feet running at someone. I mean, have you ever played football? And not
It's
you. I
not.
mean, like
Yeah.
when the guy running at you with the ball, you don't have the ball. If they're good, they'll beat you. I mean, he did should have done something differently yesterday. But I'm just
Yes.
saying in general, like that's where
That's what I'm
your
trying to
attack
get
will
at.
come from.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Is that he should have.
No, he could have done something different. But
Not
we're
only
look.
could have. Not he could have. He should have.
Yeah, but then at the same time, say, okay, well, should we still have been 0-0 at that point? No, because it's like, as you said, it's on the manager. He should have made change. We should have started with a different
Certainly.
team. We wouldn't have
Yeah.
been in a
We
0-0.
wouldn't have been in this position.
So
Right.
that one mistake he makes leads to someone then having
Leads to
a very
this.
low XG goal, a low XG goal, I'd imagine, and then
Mhm.
burying it.
Exactly.
So, we should have been 2-3 up before that. So that one mistake, that one error, a team that's good on the break, that's set up to do that, who has quality like Alanga and that Hudson Odoi, who, like I said before the game, these guys can finish chances. You
Yeah.
give them one or
Yeah.
two, they can finish.
Right.
They don't need a million of them. They have a bit of quality in them, and we saw that was a quality finish.
Yeah.
And it stung us because we didn't have the 2 or 3 goal cushion that we should have had. If we'd had that one moment of that lapse of quality, but we wouldn't have been in that maybe overloading thing either. So it all comes together to end up in a position where one mistake from Connor and one world class, like Hudson Odoi tries that again 6 times, they don't go in.
No,
He
you
hits
probably don't.
Canade or he bends it wide or it goes over. He just
Right.
connected with that. He
Sure.
pured
The
that.
same. The
Did you
same
see the way
way.
it killed in the bottom corner? Did you see the way that ball killed? It hit the bottom corner and then it just dropped.
Mhm.
That shows you how pure he hit that ball.
No, it
He
did.
wouldn't even
And
do
no,
that in training. He won't even do that in training most times. It just went tink. And Ali was like,
But
what the hell was that?
but
So
yeah,
we got done. We got done, man. And we should have had that cushion. It shouldn't have mattered.
it
We
shouldn't
should
have.
have put them to the sword earlier on. 2-3 up. Made more
Yeah.
chances. Been more clinical. And then that one or two things that goes our way. Yeah. I would have been happy with a 3-1. Like the dominance, all the things that should have been a 3-1 game. We dominated,
Right.
created chances, should have had 3, and then yeah, guess what? They get 1 because they got a bit of quality. Bang, they put 1 in. Yeah, whatever. Next game,
Right. Right.
it was all set up. But hey, we didn't see that
It's
one
one
coming,
and
did
done.
we? We didn't see
We didn't.
Forest at home as the one. Like we were all mapping it out and sketching it out, and we were like, oh, maybe this or maybe. I mean, a lot of people are like, bing, 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 wins, cool, but even the kind of more pessimistic ones, this wasn't one that you were chalking down as, oh, you got to have an eye on that
It
one.
wasn't. Yeah.
This was down
Yeah.
as a win.
I did see the it was Jamie and K-Mac talking about how like they're going through the schedule and they're just like, this is not a game. They had this game like done and dusted actually.
Oh yeah,
they were already on to like they were already
I
on
was
to
saying
like,
to you yesterday, give us your map. Like, come on, tell us your match score predictions. Because everyone with 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 4-0.
I thought it could have been. I was hoping it was going to be. Yeah, I went with my gut.
And I said it 3-0. I said it 3-0. I was a 3-0 guy. So what were you saying? Everyone was at worst a 1 goal to them and 3 or 4 to us.
I was hoping that this
anything close.
this different. I was hoping that this different flow of positioning, the formation, all the things that were different was going to create and produce something of a goal.
It just shows you. Yeah. It just shows you, man.
Let's get into these ratings before it gets too late here. Let's just hop right into these ratings. People, we need you for these ratings as always. So please do include your ratings for these players. We're just going to go through the team. We're going to go as quickly as possible because there's only 2 of us on the panel today. So we're not going to talk too much about the actual individual play or yada yada. I'm just going to give. I have my own score already in there, and I'll adjust accordingly to Brian and your scores as well. So let's get into it with Ali. What were we going to do with Ali? Made a couple of good saves. What was your rating for Ali? And again, this is 1 to 100 people. If you want to think of it as like 70s are C's, 80s are B's, 90s are A's, 60s are D's, obviously 50s are F's. So just so you know. Ali, what was your score, Bri? I'm seeing some of the scores come in right now.
Yeah, I hadn't actually thought about Ali. 65.
Okay. That's fair. That's definitely fair. I think I had the same score. Let me double check that. I'm looking at this. Some of the scores being brought in by.
Kind of did nothing, you know. I did, and then you did much, right? Yeah.
60 from Nalante, 70 from Ian, 70 from Dara. Dustin gave him an 8. Okay. Richard gave him a 65. Ali gave him a 65. Bernie gave him a 70. Okay. I personally gave him. I'm waiting for this thing to load up here. I gave him a 67, but like, would you? Is that
oh
fair?
Yeah, I always, even when we're doing
fair. I think that's fair, actually.
Even when we're doing the 1 to 100s, I still only do like 60, 65, 70. So, you know, I always forget to do like the bits and pieces in between.
Let's go with whoops, sorry about that. Giving you a little early taste of what I rated
another 65, another 70.
Let's do 67 because there's like a bunch of. I know Dustin's 8 kind of pushes it a little bit north, but
well, nobody went less than 60. So
yeah, everyone pretty much went 65 or 70. So I'll go in between and say 67. How about for Robbo? What were you going to rate Robbo at? If you guys need stats for anyone, just tell me. I'll read out their stats. But,
yes,
and if
Robbo
you need
stats.
stats, tell me. You want Robbo stats?
Yeah, Robbo stats. Yeah, we'll start it off. We go.
I don't think you want Robbo stats actually, but all right. 75 minutes played, had 0 interceptions, 0 tackles, wasn't dribble past 0 times, but 0 clearances, 0 block shots. Dang, did he play defense? It was almost like 58 touches.
Well, I mean, how many shots do you face?
I know. It's a joke.
Can't block him if you don't face him.
Right. 58 touches, excuse me. 41 out of 44 for his passing. Had 1 key pass, 2 out of 3 for his crossing. Was 0 for 1 for his ground duels and 0 for 1 for the aerial duels. Lost possession 6 times and made 1 foul for the yellow card, obviously. And that's that.
I mean,
those are stats.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of those defensive stats will be impacted by Nottingham Forest's offensive stats. So, like I said, if you don't face a shot, you can't block a shot, and they didn't touch the ball in our box in the first half.
Yeah,
they had no shots in the first half, so nobody blocked shots in the first half. So, that's again. But the other bits
harsh
that
ratings here. Yeah,
see the bits that he did do that was involved with. He didn't do very well in the bits that he was involved with.
Wow. Yeah, Robbo did not get any love. 45.
I don't know.
45 from Honcho. 45 from Richard. 45 from Honcho. 50 from Dustin. 55 from Jimmy. 40 from Bonkers. 40 from Nalante. And a 40 from Callum. Big up to Callum, by the way. Hello. Welcome for joining us. I just saw you join us.
Yeah.
What do you want to do with Robbo?
No, saying that's pretty harsh. Pretty harsh.
I personally had him at a 66, but
I'll give him a 50. I suppose.
Let's go with 48. Let's say that because there's a lot of 40s in there. A lot of 40s. Okay. What are we gonna do with Virgil? What was Virgil? What was Virgil? Our captain. Oh, captain. Had a couple of attempts on goal, by the way, too. Yeah, I know, a trapper. You know, so at times you had to ask, did any of these guys play?
You see,
and I
like,
do see
Ian's,
by the way. Ian gave 65. I saw that.
Like a lot of this, like some, like I'm saying, like they had no shots in the first half, no touches in our box. We had all the ball. So what can Virgil do in that first half? He doesn't really stand out. He doesn't do anything. So his stats are probably going to look stupid because he didn't have anything to do. But I don't know. Just a 70. I don't know. Well, no, we lost 1-0, so he's captain. Yeah, 60, I suppose.
Okay.
I see a lot of VVD 65.
Statistically,
76.
he had a good game. He had a decent
game.
Not a great game.
Saying, I just, so 60
is
good. 60 is a good game for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of 60s and 65s.
Statistically, he had 8 clearances, 6 8 clearances.
You're breaking up, dude. You're breaking up.
Lagging here.
Yeah, you're lagging.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just Virgil, even when he has nothing to, even in his quietest games, he just does everything really, really well. He never has a bad game. So, like, but just yesterday, I suppose, I mean, didn't really, they were all bad for me. I mean, they're all around the 50, 60 for me. I'm not really happy to give anyone more than 60. So, I think he's probably up there. But one person is 60 is another person is 80. So, but yeah, we lost those. Man. So I'm sorry, nobody gets over 65. It's Honcho. VVD was more FFD. I don't know what FFD is, Trap Joe. Van Dijk didn't do anything wrong. Bradley didn't do the defense. That disappeared. And he was good for 70 minutes, said Dustin. Yeah, like I said, even Virgil on a bad day is still like 60, 65, unless he gives away 3 penalties and gets sent off and headbutts the referee. I mean, even his worst game is better than most centre halves. So he didn't stand out to me as somebody that was just like, whoa, throwing it, but they had absolutely nothing to do in the first half. Like, I was just joking about like the whole shots like shots blocked. Well, you can only block a shot if you faced it. So, I mean, these guys were strolling around with nothing to do. And then when the physical stuff happened, the big long ball happened and one fast break and we're trying different things, they got caught out. So, but even though it's like a terrible performance, I don't think it was ultimately like a standout, like really, really bad defensive performance. Whereas like we were getting ripped up. I don't think we ever got torn apart from like one, and it was a high quality move. Like I said earlier on, if you watched us do that as a Liverpool team on the break, that move that they did, we would have loved it. Like, if that was Salah to Mane, and Mane finishing like that, we would have like, oh, what a goal. So one sucker punch, but that's what they did. We didn't really have a terrible. Oh yeah, look, Robbo was getting terrible ratings there from everybody. But what did he do? When did he get torn apart by a winger? When did he get dribbled past a million times? I'm not really sure where the problem was there. Like, okay, it wasn't his best game. I don't know. I hope 12th man comes back. I can't keep doing this shit forever. People will need to start putting in comments. But yeah, so what are we up to? That's Virgil, right? So we're going to move on to Kanate, okay? Ibu, right? Ibu is next up. So everybody remembers, like I didn't, that he was actually on the pitch when they scored that goal. I'm not going to sing anything, dude. So when he uses him as a screen and all that, so I completely forgot that. So um, he got taken off, right? So you've got Kanade, decent performance. What? What are you going to do? What are you going to say? People in the chat, 55 from Delante, Kanade 50 from Bonkers. I mean, he's all part of it, right? Jimmy 55. So it's all part of, like, that's, like I said, though, how do you judge that defense on a defense that had absolutely nothing to do for the best part of an hour? And then they go and let you down 60, 50. I mean, is it all part of the system? Yeah. Mari, a lot of love for Ibu. He's come in. We all saw what happened with Kwanzaa, and we all thought, is Kanane not the best guy? Is it a Kwanzaa thing now? Does he prefer a ball player? What's happening? I mean, that lasted about 60 minutes. And now Kanade is in this team, Ibu, non-stop. I always liked it as a partnership. We all liked the big, strong guy up against a world-class ball playing centre half like VVD. It's a perfect combination, Vidic, Ferdinand. We all know it. So if you can do that, if you can keep that going. But, okay, I think we didn't see the best of him today. But I don't see anything wrong with that back line. I didn't see it get ripped apart. So I can't see how we can really judge it that badly defensively. So 50, 50, 50s. Okay, we'll go with a 50 on that. So next up, the man, the myth, and the legend. We can go on to Trent, the man who seemed to have like handbags all day with Michael Oliver. Like, if that was a nightclub, the police are going to be called afterwards. Eyelashes everywhere, you know what I mean? Fake tan all over the place. But it wasn't. It was a football pitch, but they were at each other's throats all day. So Trent, was he playing it up for the crowd? Was he trying to be a bit of this? Was he actually pissed off? What did he do in the game? Trent, he put him into the midfield. That's what everybody wanted to see. McAllister gets taken off. Bradley comes on. Everybody's like, "Ooh, is he going to take Trent off? Is it going to be another tantrum?" Nope, no tantrum. It wasn't actually Trent coming off. It's McAllister coming off. Trent goes into midfield. So without the before the scores, thoughts on the Trent actually in midfield bit would be interesting. I don't know if I could say it was a massive success. I don't think he needs to be there myself. I like him on the right side. Move in when there's room to do it. No point rating Trent. Not, well, it's a ratings bit. I mean, listen, gotta rate it.
Yeah. I apologize for that, people. My computer is crazy. Just dropped out or something. In fact, hopefully, I am not going to have the same issues. Give me a second to get reset up with the presentation. But we were on Virgil van Dijk. Yes. Are you guys on Trent though now? Okay.
Yeah, we're just on to Trent. But I was trying to slow it back by saying, instead of rating him, what was people's opinions on when he went into midfield instead of McAllister?
That was a surprise, right? When he took off Maka, and I was like, okay. And when he was bringing on Bradley, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I was
just saying that. Yeah, that's what I was just asking you. I was saying when that sub was happening, and everyone saw Bradley coming on, the commentator was like, "Oh, is there going to be a tantrum from Trent? Not a tantrum.
Yes.
How's this going to look?"
Yes. How's this going to play?
Yeah. And then it was like, "Oh, Mac's coming off."
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I was waiting for you to come back, so I was going to try and slow down the ratings. So I was just asking people, instead of rating Trent, what was their opinion of him in that role when he went into it for that short time.
Yeah, that was surprising for me. I was definitely surprised by that because I didn't expect that. I know that people have been wanting to see him play midfield, but not only did we keep Trent in and Connor in at the same time, we didn't even play with a back four at that point. We went to a back three at that point, and that's why I was like, Wow.
We were
Okay,
in
we are
crazy times.
definitely pushing for a goal here to get a goal in any way possible, and just throwing all of our like offensive,
Yeah, I don't. Is
position
healer?
players.
Can you tell us what's the Dutch for kitchen sink?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah.
Like
Very well
5
put.
fullbacks and one defender on the pitch.
Yeah.
Or yeah, we had Simicast, uh, Bradley, Trent, and Virgil.
Yep. Yep. So it was no joke when it came to us trying to figure out some solution. But big up Dustin. Big up Dustin.
Hey,
Hope
Dustin.
you're well. Hope you're well. But yeah, that you're so spot on with that. I was like very surprised that we ended up going that direction with putting. I can understand maybe playing in an inverted role or something like that, but when you have Connor Bradley on the pitch, okay,
Straight up playing him in midfield.
You're just playing him in midfield now. Like there's no pretending that you're gonna try to put him into
no box midfield, no inverting nonsense. No, he's
None of
just
that.
straight up playing the midfield.
He's just
so
straight
that's
up
what people
midfield.
wanted to see. That's what you wanted to see. Most people, those that wanted to see it, that's what they wanted to see. I thought we were already seeing it most of the time. Every time I looked up, he was in midfield, so I didn't understand. Do you play him in midfield, Clammer?
Mm-hmm.
I prefer him on the right. Either way. But now that we're not crossing the border, it hasn't been clunky. I was worried it would be clunky what he would do with Trent because he's a very difficult player to fit into a system that also needs to work as a system, but also then gets the best out of an incredibly talented, yet very idiosyncratic and individual player who isn't just, he's a great left winger, put him on the left wing.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's Trent. You kind of need to build shit around him a little bit.
Yeah,
and
he had a good shot actually. I thought that shot had a chance of going in at least.
He's an 9 goal of the season player, man. For me, easily. If
he's
a bit of luck and when he's free kicks, shots from it with his quality of, I mean, we were talking. I won't go too long about it, but you were talking about the Stephen Nichol and Craig Burley thing. Where they were basically slagging him off. I was just looking back from an episode of The Overlap, on the same, which basically on the same day, 2 days before, and it was Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, all Man United players, Ian Wright, and Jamie Carragher, and they just basically spent 10 minutes talking about how fucking unbelievable he is. They were just sitting there going, "This kid's unbelievable," and Scholes like, "Yeah, he's incredible." And Carragher's like, "He's the best I've ever seen." Neville's like, "No, he's unbelievable," and Roy Keane's like, "Yeah, I gotta have it. He's brilliant. Not the best defender. Forget that. The kid's unbelievable." And then just 10 minutes of them just going, "This kid is unbelievable." And that's 3 Man United players, an Arsenal player, and Jamie Carragher. Like those boys, they all support England. Yeah, they want them to do well, apart from Roy, but they're like, this kid is just so special. He's so special. The respect they have for him, that shows you everything. Neville is just like, I spent 2 hours talking to him. He blew me away about how much he knows about the game and all that.
Definitely.
Great.
Let's get into, so let's just rock through these because we are at the 1:30 mark. I don't want my computer to drop again just in case. So
okay, cool. Yeah, cool.
I'll just go through these really quickly. So I saw that you guys had about like I think it was like a 60-ish for like around a 60.
Chat's been generous tonight.
Yeah.
I've heard some references to Beige and Reds with zeros and
exactly.
So I think our
they were rough.
Tonight.
They were rough.
Yeah.
60.
Come here from a bit of love.
Yeah, bit of love there. 60 for Ibu. I'll put at that.
Looked about right.
65. Yeah. I'm looking at the ratings at least that you guys gave him. I'll give 65 for VVD. And I'll
see no one be super harsh. No one being super harsh. No fools.
Let's see. And for Trent's going to get a.
Give him his number. Give him his number. Yeah.
I gave him his number. Yeah, 66. 66. I thought Trent didn't have a terrible game like that, but I saw Trent 45. Let's just go through again. Let's just try to get through these really quickly. McAllister, what were you giving Macca?
60.
I thought McAllister had the best game out of anyone on the pitch. Tell you the truth.
Oh, sorry, I forgot my 63. I keep forgetting I can do that. Yeah, I'll give more of like a 63 thing.
63. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat's saying for Macca. Macca got a 50, 65. Wow. I thought Macca played well. It's just that Macca was often getting bullied a lot.
He was on the pitch. He was kind of getting kicked all over the place and broken in half a little bit. You have to play, I mean, the guy, you could tell he thought he lost a tooth in that hand to face one. He thought he lost a tooth.
You talked about Diego's opportunity. That was Macca that put that ball into Diego for that opportunity.
I love how he gets up, though. That's that Argentinian bit in him. He's just like, yeah, okay, you whack me. But if you think I'm going off, you've got another thing coming. I'm getting up. Because that's all you've got. Okay, you've done your thing now. Tough guy. I like him.
Let's go with like 60.
I went with 63. It's 55, 55.
I see a lot of 50s, 50, 65, 55, 55, 50. So yeah, I'll make
another 55.
Yeah.
I'd make it a 59 to keep people happy.
Yeah, maybe so. I got you.
Yeah, a lot of 50s in that.
That's a shame because Mac I thought had if you look at his stats are really, really good actually. And he had some decent big chances.
And he woke up with very sore bits. Really sore.
I bet he did. It's again the reason why I didn't want to see him play, to be honest with you. He got bullied. The players coming back from he just traveled back to South America, had an injury over in South America, says he's okay to go. You put him in.
Yeah, you gotta love him for him. Gotta love him.
I love the heart and the effort.
And he'll play against AC Milan. You know that. Yeah. He'll play against AC Milan. Slot just can't wait for this West Ham game.
Yeah,
Grand Merch, I would give a 72. I thought he was I thought he was good at doing the stuff that he's been doing. But no, 72 is a bit high. In spirit of the game. 65.
Okay. I had him at 74, obviously, but I'm looking at what the scores are. 60 from Honcho, 65 from Nolante.
I was being too high with my 70.
Dustin had him at a 60. Bonkers at a 62. Ian at a 67. Okay. I
62.
65. I think 65 is fair. 62 from Bonkers. I know 60 from Honcho. So 67 from Bernie.
Okay.
Yeah. How about we'll do a 67 since it's Bernie's birthday. How about that? So we'll do that.
You want to use up your birthday? Oh, hang on.
I don't know. That's not your birthday. That's not your birthday.
You want to use up your birthday shout on Grav, Bernie? Is that because you can get one birthday shout, Bernie? You can get one birthday shout. So you put in your rating, right? And whichever the next one you want it to be, you just put in.
How about you can star the one that
star the
like
one.
This,
whatever one that has to be the rating. Has to be.
All right. So if that's the case, then I'll put it at 65 right now.
We can change it back if it's not Grav. Don't worry.
Yeah. Then let's go on to
it's Bernie's birthday. No, that's it. It's Bernie's birthday.
Yep. Dom. I had him at a 72, but what were you rated Dom at today?
Oh, he got a lot of heat today, though. Oh,
he did.
He got an awful lot of heat.
I thought Dom worked his tail off, despite the fact that he wasn't getting the results that we want to see him get, but he did work his tail off.
He could have scored. Good score with that one. I mean, he looked pretty pissed off with himself. People
are coming hot for Dom. Jeez. Now we're starting to get into Bayesian Reds territory with some of these ratings.
I'm just waiting for the streets to arrive. I'm still waiting for the streets to arrive. Just come in with some 20s. He was not a happy Bayesian yesterday.
No.
Dom.
Richard 50, Dustin 50, Honcho.
I'll give him a
Ian 40,
58. 58.
Let's go with a.
I just thought he was okay, and that for me is an okay rating.
Your rating was mine and yours was the anomaly. I mean, I had him at the 72, so I mean that's just because of that. I think, but
yeah, but yours, I mean, your 60 is my 70 kind of, or
right,
yours,
yeah,
my,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, so
yeah,
it's a
exactly.
bit more that one.
I thought it was an
But
average performance. I
he was
wouldn't say
okay.
he was.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he was
okay.
average. That's my point.
Like if he
That's
if that header had gone in, it's a
yeah,
beautiful thing. I mean, a lovely loop. I thought it was in for half a sec, but
yeah.
if it had gone in, then you're talking about a different game.
So let's go 48 for Dom. How about for Lucho? How about for Lucho? I had Lucho at a 68 yesterday. But what'd you have for Lucho?
Yeah, I would go along similar lines. I would say 60. Like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier on, most, I mean, 9 times out of 10, that shot goes in. Uh,
Yeah.
did the usual stuff. Lucho, excuse me. Yeah,
I'm
just a
seeing
Lucho
scores all
game.
over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah. 60, 55,
I'll say 50, 58, 60.
45, 50. Yeah, and I had him at a 68.
I don't
Let's
know.
say I thought it was like a D performance. Not he was a little underwhelming.
Undercooked, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
55, 55. So yeah, let's go with I saw 355, so let's go with the 55. That's cool. How about for um how about for Diego? I think Diego's a player that's kind of trying to find his way and find his place in this lineup right now.
Looked a bit.
I had Diego at a 60, but that's also my elevated rating. He was borderline, but I know people should rate him pretty low. 40 from Richard, 50 from Dustin, 40 from Ian, 35 from Honcho. What's your rating on Diego?
I would go 52. I'll go with a 50. A straight 50. I'll give him a straight 50. Or a half a buck, as the kids would say.
Yeah, half a buck. I'm gonna go five short of on the five short of a buck, half a buck, because it looks like these 35s and 40s and 45s, a lot of 45s and 40s. Bernie gave him a 50.
Definitely not his best game.
Not his best game. Not his best game.
But
I gave
across the board.
I gave Salah a 67, but what was your rating on Salah?
Oh, he's getting old. I mean, I think if there was some minuses, he could have gotten some minuses out there.
Yeah. He was after a while. Sometimes he looked like he was just shooting just to shoot. I was like, yeah, this.
He does that a lot. He does that, and that's when you're like, yeah. I suppose now when you think about it, and again, this is hindsight and all that, but those are the games when you wish you could just take him off and bring on someone else, but
Yeah,
you couldn't.
we couldn't.
You know where he does do that kind of Mo will just stop kind of thing like that outside of the boot ball, you know, for Dom. I mean, he's got that kind of quality in him. You don't see that very often. Ian saying could be his worst game in a red shirt. Well, look, Ian, I am going to bow to your superior knowledge on that one and your up close and personal experience of that, because I've heard a lot of people say that that's one of the worst games they've seen him play, and I thought a lot of it might be hype, but now that you've said that, I don't think they're lying. So I'm going to go with what I think, which is a 35.
Okay, that's what I have it at, 35. There's a lot of 40s. Like Mo got a 40 from Jimmy, 50 from Bonkers, 30 from Nolante, Trap Joe going with the 69 theme of 69, I guess. 25 from Ian. Yeah, a lot of low scores for him. 45. I know that I saw Bernie's score. I think 55 from Bernie. Yeah. I'll go with
Ian's
35.
just nothing coming off. He does have those games that you just see him sometimes where it's just like he runs at someone and he beats them, and he does again, he beats them, and then you have those other games where He just, I mean, doesn't beat the first guy the first time and doesn't beat anybody all game. Everything he tries is this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bad game.
Everyone,
Bad day.
bad game. We can go through the subs real quick. I'll just give you. We'll just go.
Oh God.
I'll do
I
a
can
sub.
imagine what you're going to give Connor.
I gave Connor a 56.
Sub-0.
No, I gave him a 56.
Well, you gave him a harsh lecture, but a good score. That's what
yeah. A good. It's a failing grade, but I gave him I gave him a
it's
failing
not a
grade.
20 or anything. It's not like
right. But that's because again, 50s for me are Fs. If you're
I
getting
know,
a letter
but
grade,
I mean, but the lecture was a 20.
But still, if you're coming home with an F, an F's an F. It doesn't matter.
But you're saying like I'm not going to
30,
kill you through the grade. Yeah, I'm not going to give you a 20 because that just means like something's gone bad wrong.
Yeah.
You can have a bad test and fail, but if you got a 20, it's like something wrong with this kid.
Yeah. You didn't even like put any effort. Did you misspell your own name type thing?
Yeah, we got to drug test you.
Yeah. Richard gave him
35. 45,
Dustin 50, 40 from Bonkers, 40 from Jimmy, 50 from Bernie, 45 from Ian. Connor was definitely an F from Trap Joe. Yeah. What do you want to give him? I'd say let's do 45. I'll drop it down.
Look at how proud and happy he looks. Surely that gets, an extra 200 points. Huh? No, for what he came into, yeah, a bit of a car crash. That's going to learn you. I think Kwan's are the same. It's just like it ain't always, a bed of roses.
Yeah.
So you're getting your first bit of criticism, maybe. So it's all part of it. But yeah, definitely a 40. That sounds right to me.
Darwin.
The big
Darwin. Yeah. Darwin, I gave a 60. I thought he came out. He put effort into it. One of the key passes and almost scored for us was from Darwin.
I don't know what Nolante 40 is for. So Nolante, can you clarify? Is that for Bradley or Nunes?
Yes.
That's 40. Is that for Bradley or Nunes? 35.
Well,
40.
He is getting 40s from Jimmy, 30 from
61.
Richard, 61. Yeah, Ian gave him a 35. Wow. A lot was 15. Wow. Jeez, guys. You guys are harsh. Darren's getting no love. I know.
The 40 was for Bradley, then the 50's for Nunes.
Okay.
Nolante
gave him a 50.
40.
40.
I'd be on the 40 train because he was only on for half an hour and didn't do much. So, well, no, I mean, probably closer to.
There's no way.
Like
I'm not.
Say, come on at a 50.
I can't read anyone under Connor. I can't read anyone under Connor after I gave him a little bit of a lecture. So,
yeah, no. I'm just saying, like, 50 to me. Darwin came on, and like I say, people come on for me at a 5 or a 50. Yeah. You either go up or you down from 5. So I think I'll give Darwin a 50 because he came on. I don't think he went up or down. So yeah 50. I'll give him a 50.
I'm gonna. I'll. Yeah, I know. I know Marion's never gonna down her Starboy. But
no, I'm expecting multiple stars at Hearts. Ian is saying I didn't like his attitude and body language when he came on, lads. I'm assuming this about Darwin. He doesn't look happy, which you would expect being on the bench, but
yeah, Ian, that's understandable.
This is why we love having people. I mean, we've got pitch side correspondents here, basically.
Yeah, basically.
We've got people in the building, people online saying blah blah blah. We've got people who are there and say, no, he looked happy. That.
This was the atmosphere. How about for Cody? I thought Cody was ghost once again in this.
Kind of anonymous, one day. Anonymous enough.
I don't like that.
Incognito
Cody.
mode.
Yeah, I gave him a 58 originally. Where we're gonna go, Connor?
Oh, Marion has a chair making business. Darren is the biggest customer. I hope so.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice him, man. So it's still at a straight. He didn't make now. Now, Ian mentioned earlier on, and this isn't a callback at you or clapback or anything, but when you were talking about Bradley earlier on, Ian said that chance happened because Gakpo lost his man or did something. Now, to me, I'd be
Mm.
interested here. Maybe something happened there. I'm not saying that was. I didn't notice that, but to me, I was just saying
Mhm.
Cody was a bit of a ghost, and I was going to say came on at 50, did nothing right, did nothing
It
wrong,
was on Cody's
but like,
side. That was I can
but
attest that was it was on
yeah, but
Cody's side.
so Ian was
I
saying he
didn't.
did make a mistake. So if he
Yeah.
did make a mistake, I'm going to
Uh,
take 5 off the 50,
mhm,
even if it wasn't direct. I mean, Bradley had his part, but
mhm.
I'll take 5 off the 50 and give him 45.
Okay. 35 from Nilante, 35 from Bonkers, 45 from Cody, for Cody from Bernie, 45 from Jimmy. Yeah, it looks like so. I gave him a 46 because so far right now I think the lowest score is Connor, who won't have
45,
the lowest.
45, 45.
He won't have the lowest score out of this because there is a player I think that deserves an even lower score than Connor. Um, how about for? Oops. How about for Simi? Simi high, simi low.
Well, 48.
Again, I'm at 67, but I'll bring it down. 48, you're saying? Okay. What are we
Yeah.
doing for semi? Because we only have one more player to rate, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I don't want my computer to drop on you guys.
45,
Yeah,
46,
you forgot. Oh, you
45.
45. Yeah, I'd say let's go.
45.
Let's go for 46.
Yeah, I thought it was an odd substitution myself, Dustin. I mean, not an odd, but it was like, okay, bring him on. So it just seemed like a bit of a, let's just bring everyone on.
I will say
And
this is gonna be harsh, or not harsh, but it's gonna be harsh on me, because Cujo is my boy. Cujo, you are my boy. Recognize, big up to you and your lady, by the way. But
sure, she's a fine lady. I'm sure she's a fine
oh yeah,
lady.
she is. She's
Wonderful
a
woman.
very, very, very wonderful and beautiful woman. Um, keeps him grounded too. That's at least what I hear. But Curtis Jones, what are we doing with Curtis Jones? Originally, I had him at a 55, which is probably the lowest score that I had rated on anyone. But what are we gonna do
Chat.
with Curtis?
Come
What
on,
are we gonna do
chat.
with Curtis?
Come on, chat.
Curtis might be a break into the 30s because if you hear Curtis's stats, they are not good.
Okay, let's hear him.
He was substituted in the 75th minute, so he had minutes to play. But Curtis Jones was at 11 touches, like 15 minutes, 0 for 1 for his long balls, 0 for 1 for ground duels, lost the ball 3 times, and that's it. That's the only stats that he has. Like, he has no positive stats really at all. 7 for 8 for his passing.
That's not too bad. That's like 95% or
88%. Yeah. But, how many of
something.
those passes are left to
Well, I
right?
mean, but if you're talking
Who
about
knows?
numbers, that's the thing. Like, if you want to talk about high numbers, that's like if you want to drill into numbers, that's the thing. You
But he has
drill into
zero. He
numbers.
has nothing but zeros on
Oh,
everything else. That's the
oh.
problem.
But
He
that's
was
also the
ghost.
thing. You drill into it. How many times did he go into it, Joe?
He went into a duel once and did not win it. He didn't go into any aerial duels. Lost
I
the
mean,
ball
it's
3
tough
times.
time wise. It's tough. I mean, 20 is usually my cutoff.
Yeah.
It's tough time wise to
He played
judge on
20 minutes.
15
He did play
minutes.
20 minutes though, because
Yeah, with extra time. Yeah, no, I
extra
just
time.
mean on 70. Anything after 70, I just use it. Well, look, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, he had 20 minutes though that he got to play.
No, I know what you're saying, but I mean 20 minutes when I'm saying in the 90. Anything after 70, it's a bit harsh because most of the game is gone. But if you're to judge him on what he did, if you want me to judge him on that, I mean, it is. I think 30 is too low. I think 30, like they're not saying 30 didn't have time, but to go. I mean,
Richard
yeah,
gave him
he did
30.
really
Bonkers
bad.
gave him 35. Ian gave him 30. Alante gave him 30. Didn't have enough time, but was
I'll just
ghost.
give him a 50. I'll give him a. Yeah, look, no, I'll give him a 45 because yeah, I think it's harsh time wise, but yeah, obviously what he did when he was on the pitch was pretty shit.
Yeah.
So,
At least,
but
yeah.
at the same time, would he start and get that kind of performance? Who knows? But yeah, those is I don't know, man.
I'll settle in on
We
a
were
40.
saying we were
there's a
saying
lot
like
of
before the
30s.
game,
There's
if
a lot of
Mac was going to
30s.
drop out, Jones would have come in.
Yeah.
For me, that's what I was saying. If you're going to drop Mac, I wouldn't
then,
bring in an Endo. I would have brought in a Jones.
But if Mac gets those minutes and he's playing early, he gets into the rhythm, maybe he finds his game a little bit, then it's a different story. But for a player that hasn't played in a while and then throw him
But that's the thing. You can't have these guys coming in cold into a game like that because Nottingham Forest they made a lot of subs as well. But it's hard to come into any game at that stage. And
Nottingham Forest made 5 substitutes as well. So.
Yeah, that's it. There was loads of stuff. At one point, there was like 8 people nearly came on within the space of about 20 minutes. Like half the entire lineups were nearly changed.
Yeah. I mean, Nico Williams was playing well against us. That was like one of those like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah,
what about Arnie's? Yeah, Arnie Slot. He came on in the 80th minute. Arnie Slot. What are you going to rate the skipper, the gaffer?
People in the chat.
People in the chat. This is your chance to say what you want to feel about Arnie in this particular game. I had him at a 50, to tell you the truth. That was my rating, but that's as low as of a F as you can get before you're probably getting sat down by your dad and your mom. 50. Having discussions in front of like guidance counselors about his grades or something.
What, 150? Come on, people. Come on, wake up.
150 from Dustin.
Come on.
35
35, 50. Cool. I would say, okay, Arnie.
Give me a 50.
Again, I can't judge him on what he didn't do. I can only judge him on what he did do. So, I'm going to say so far it was like 50 with him and the team. Wow, everybody's. I'm not really sure where the options were to guarantee something different if everybody misfires. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on him.
I just don't think he was prepared also for some reason.
I said 45. 45. Oh, 40. Okay. Sorry, 45. 45. Okay.
Let's go with
lots of low, man. It's 30s, 39s.
Yeah, 30, 30, 39, 50, 50, 35, 50, 45.
It's got to be in the 40s, I think.
Yeah, let's go with 40. Let's go for 40. Originally, I rated him at a 50, but let's go for 40.
Oh, the chat slammed him down.
Yeah. He deserves it because you know why? Because look, it's just one of those things. You got to know. I know he's going to have to understand some of these teams. He's not familiar with a lot of these teams and how they play or what to expect, when it comes to the physicality of it all. But he's got to recognize the fact that, this is how Forest plays. They're one of the biggest teams in the league. They're going to come out. They're one of the tallest teams in the league. They're going to come out. They're going to play physical. You're going to have the lights of like your Yateses out there, playing, doing the Urkels and saying, "Was that me?"
But how do we match that up more physically than we did?
That's I think what I think you do is that you put players that have fresh legs that are going to make runs and make you have to choose.
See, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I know, but then we're going down that road again. That what would have happened? See, the thing is, I'm with everybody in saying like we should have made changes. And then so people are, why didn't we change? Why didn't we change? So now I'm starting thinking, yeah, actually, why didn't we change? Let's look into why he didn't change things. Because if we had players in reserve that he thought could have done something, or could have stepped up, or could have been good enough, would he have played those players? Or is the reason he isn't changing is because he's some crazy guy who won't change players? Or is it because he looks at the list of players he has to come in and thinks, I don't think they're going to help me win a game? Because we didn't win the game when we made those changes. Agreed. Like they only had a certain amount of time, but we're then judging these players on that time. So I'm not saying this is the reason. I'm just saying we might need to broaden out the thinking a little bit. It's as if to say like, oh, this guy, he should have done that. Well, maybe we should ask ourselves why he didn't do it. Like, is he looking at these guys? And now are we? I'm not saying that's to defend Arne Slot. I'm just saying are we now in a position where we're actually, we were talking about the depth in our squad. Is our squad now a lot thinner than maybe we thought it was? Because some of the players that we have there aren't players that, not that they're good, not that they're bad. It's just that he doesn't think he can use them effectively. Because if that is the case, then I think our squad is a lot thinner than maybe we thought it was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. That's why I'm hoping that.
Yeah, no, it's just all.
I'm hoping that it wasn't. It was a case of, look, you know what? If he thinks that, then this is on him again, because he should have gone. He should have made a bigger declaration to, Hughes.
The Zubimendi thing was a fucking clusterfuck, man.
But
I said something. The Zubimendi thing and all eggs in that basket.
Bring in whoever it is that can play to the level.
No, we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball big. I think we dropped the ball big time in terms of going all in on Zubimendi, and then that being a cluster and being left with nothing. I think we definitely dropped the ball there. Like, because people were saying to me, well, why didn't we? He came out and said this and that. Why didn't we improve the squad? And I was like, yeah, we should have. Yeah. We should have. We definitely should have. And we made a mistake there. I think we have. We have left ourselves a little bit short. And okay, we might be spread a bit thin now.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough. Tuesday's a quick turnaround.
It's a really, really quick turnaround.
It's a quick turnaround, and then you think that's the end? No. Well, then we go again on what, Saturday or Sunday? I think it's Saturday. So I mean, it's another quick turnaround. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, another 3-4 day turnaround before we're.
And we're not even at home.
Yep,
we're traveling. You don't even have.
And that'll be the away game that we have to face. So again, this is why I said this game was the game tailored to be, in my opinion, this is the game that was tailored to be the game for rotation. We didn't see that. So now Arne is going to be pressed to make some very difficult decisions with the lineup going forward, because this next game is not going to get any easier. And then going on the road, every game on the road is a difficult game. This undetermined by.
No, he rolled the dice. I think he rolled the dice, man, and I think he went with his best 11 that he saw. Like, and not saying the squad's big enough, but it's clear he doesn't rate certain players. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if he doesn't rate certain players, the squad becomes very, very thin again. Yeah. Yeah. I think San Siro, here we come. Definitely. Yeah. We go there. We go 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10, but 1 or 2 changes, hopefully.
Well, let's hope that our team can travel to Italian and score family style, in the sense of like score. Everyone get some confidence, get some form, get some confidence, basically, again, lack of a better word, just some real confidence back into their game, and get some cohesion. Get some cohesion with the formation once again, to look solid and not look, punch drunk, or look as disjointed as we did at times during that game against Mars. We're at the 2-hour mark, though. Yeah. We have 1 minute left. We're at the 2-hour mark.
Hopefully AC won't play like Forest did. I think we hope.
Yeah, I don't think they will. Not at home, I don't think. But we're at the 2-hour mark. Is there anything you wanted to say to people before we bounce out of here and get ready for a good Monday show?
2 things. Number 1, happy birthday. You're not going to get the song, Bernie. I'm sorry. Nobody would want to subject anybody to that. But happy birthday to Bernie. Happy 21st. And I haven't seen him. I'm not sure if you're in, but again, Lee Wizkid, everybody is thinking about you, and everybody wants the results to be super positive. And yeah, we're all thinking about you, Lee Wizkid, man.
Yeah, big up. Yeah. So the message doesn't change any different. It's always up the Reds, people, up the Reds, always, now and forever. Just because we're mad or just because we're mad or disappointed doesn't mean we don't love you. So it is certainly the case. Shout out to, again, one of our Red Jewels, Bernie. Happy birthday. Hopefully, even though the Reds let you down on Saturday, recognize the fact that the rest of us Reds do want to wish you a warm and beautiful birthday for you. So I hope that it brings everything that you desire. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. So until tomorrow, peace and blessings. And yeah, up the Reds, people. Once again, up the Reds. I'll see you guys tomorrow.